on the latest goings-ons with the Linux gaming and tech scene. Atomic and Osiris, how are you guys doing this week?
Sweet, awesome, fantastic.
Atomic, how you doing? All right, that's great news. I'm glad to hear that, Atomic. Hopefully we don't have any we're having some technical difficulties, everybody. Bear with us,
Missed
please.
missed everything you just heard or just
There he
said.
is. I said, "How is everybody doing?" Atomic, how are you today? Osiris already answered me.
Same shit, different day.
All right, the standard response that we get from you every week in and week out.
Yep.
So, um, those of you that are new to the show, we're welcome to the Linux Tech and Gaming Podcast. As I said, this is episode 30, so we've been doing it for 30 weeks now. We had 1 week we took off for Christmas break or whatever. Um, you can help us right now if you want to retweet the show. Watching it on your desired platform. You can watch it right on our website, which is linuxtechandgaming.com/live. I believe is the page to watch the embedded live stream, and there is chat right below that if you wanted to interact with other people. Um, we do have also a IRC channel on Freenode, which is irc.freenode.net, and it is pound symbol Linux Tech and Gaming. I am actually in that chat right now, and we got like 8 people in there or 6 people in there. We're live on 3 different services. We're live on Twitch, we're live on Hitbox, and we're live on YouTube. So depending on what platform you like watching it on, share it out, share out whichever site you're watching with your other, friends on social media, whether that be Facebook or Google Plus or Twitter, whatever, or even Player Me. We've been really liking Player Me because of it just aggregates all of our social media links all into one location. Um, if you ever have questions for us, you can tweet directly at us, which are, I believe our Twitter handles are directly below our names. Yep. And, or you can use hashtag Linux T and G, and we will see your question and hopefully, respond to you in a timely fashion. Um, so each week we go through an Atomic picks a Linux game of the week. What do you got for us this week, Atomic?
This week I have Limbo, but might need to bring that up. Where is it?
Limbo.
Yes.
I remember looking into this when it first came out,
I
and
do
I'm
have
pretty
it.
sure I even bought it. I
It
just
is.
haven't. There was originally issues with it when I was trying to get it to work, so I uninstalled it. I think it was just booting to a black screen. So I don't know if that was a brightness issue or what, but maybe that's resolved by now. What was your experience like?
I didn't have any trouble with it.
Okay, maybe they got all the little bugs squared away then.
Yeah. Um. So if you don't know what this is, Limbo is a 2D platformer, and it's all black and white motif. And
Oh.
it doesn't really go into a story, but it acts like there's a kind of a story to it. And what I have heard, I don't think there's actually an actual story like from the developers, but the what I have heard online is that your sister has gone to what's that Catholic thing in between heaven and hell?
Oh, yeah.
Purgatory.
Yes.
Purgatory, yes.
Purgatory.
Your sister has gone to purgatory, and you are trying to save her.
Huh.
I wouldn't do that.
Wow, did you see how big that fucking spider was? Holy shit.
Yes, there are
This
spiders in
game-
this thing.
The game looks pretty decent, I have to admit. So is it kind of like a just a side scroller then?
Yeah.
Oh, there's even a demo. So if you wanted to try before you buy, there's a free demo you can download and install. It is $9.99 currently. Limbo is.
Now, I fired this up recently. When it first came out, I think there was some issues with the controller support. But I did just fire it up this week, and the controller support works. And it says it has full controller support, of course.
Okay. Oh, they
So-
actually say, uncertain of his sister's fate, a boy enters limbo. So instead of purgatory, they call it limbo. Obviously, that's why the game's called Limbo.
Huh. So maybe that is the official story item. I'm not sure.
Well, that's what it says on their Steam webpage. But that it's been recommended by several curators. Simple yet that won't trouble you. Deep yet easy to play or let go whenever you want to. Limbo is a gorgeous dark experience.
And dark it is.
Destructoid gave it a 10 out of 10. Giant Bomb gave it 5 out of 5. It looks like Joystick gave it 5 out of 5. Dark, disturbing, yet eerily beautiful. Limbo is a world that deserves to be explored. So, I do have the game. Looks like I would just need to install it. Let's actually find out how big the game is if I click install. Oh, wow. It's only 107 megabytes.
Yes.
What the heck?
Yes, it is
Okay.
tiny.
Yeah, I see that.
But I think it still taxes your system a little bit. Like, it's somewhat graphically intensive, even though it's a black and white game, because there's a lot of lighting effects in the thing. You know.
Yeah.
I remember it played very well on a HD 3000 graphic laptop, but at a lower resolution. So,
All right. You know what I could see this being a perfect game for is in-home streaming. You know,
oh,
to have the
definitely.
controller support working and me sitting right back in the family room with all the lights off on the 65-inch TV that I got. This would be a fun game to play. So I should really just get this thing installed and fire it up.
Yeah. So, give that a whirl.
Cool. All right, so you definitely recommend it for only $10.
Oh yeah,
I mean, and probably goes on sale quite,
Oh.
at times.
it does go on sale. I think I might have picked it up for $5 or something.
Oh shit! At $5, you really can't go wrong.
Yeah, and you got a couple hours of play in that.
Just as long as it's not. Do you still shower with your dad? That's definitely not worth $5. Don't buy that game, people. Okay, I don't know how that game got greenlit. It must have been supported or greenlit by Blind Run Gaming and Nocturne Kitty and them or something. I don't know. They probably like that game. All right. So that's Atomic's Linux game pick of the week. We have a lot of hardware news, so we really should just get right into it. The first one is you can turn a Raspberry Pi 2 into a cheap DIY, like kind of streaming box from your main PC. Now it uses a proprietary piece of software called Limelight, I'm sorry, it's an open source implementation of NVIDIA's Game Stream. And so, just to make this clear, it's not really a Steam OS box. You install Raspbian on your Raspberry Pi 2, and then you also install Limelight to connect to your main gaming PC, and then you pair your Pi with your gaming PC, map your controller, and boom, you're now playing your game, in your family room using a Raspberry Pi, something that's the size of this right here in my hand. This is a banana Pi, which is basically, you know, pretty similar to a Raspberry Pi. Um, this is only a dual core CPU, whereas the Raspberry Pi 2, I believe, has a quad core ARM chip in it. But just the fact that this DIY project allows you to um, install this open source implementation of NVIDIA's Game Stream onto it and stream from your main gaming rig is fantastic. I think that with a little credit card size computer, that's just phenomenal. And the reason that I brought this up is because we had people previously, while we're gaming throughout the week on one of my servers, people in the Mumbo server were wondering when I was showing them my Banana Pi, they were like, "Hey, can you put Steam OS on that and use in-home streaming or whatever?" And we didn't really know the answer to that, but obviously now you can see that you can install Raspbian on it, and along with Limelight, and do something very similar to Steam OS and in-home streaming. Um, so, yeah, I thought that was something I wanted to share with everybody.
We
Yeah. All right. Atomic or Cyrus, is this next one here? Is this you
yeah.
or is
So
this, all right?
Cougar launches a mini ITX case for you guys with little cases. Plus, I see a lot of people going to these cons, like QuakeCon, and they're wanting small builds. And this one is one made by Cougar called a QBX. And if you see the pictures here, they jammed everything in here. Like there's no space wasted.
Wow, it looks like the size of a kind of a shoebox, but stood on its side, sort of.
Yeah, it's like it's 7 inches by 10 inches by 14.5 inches. And it's only $60. It can fit a full size 350 millimeter graphics card in there.
Damn.
Um, what else? And it can actually fit radiators in there also. But of course, at this size, it's going to be at the sacrifice of something else. I think the CD-ROM or something. I can't remember. Uh,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, go to the Atomic, go to the page with all the gallery on the original link and then go to gallery. You can see some awesome pics. Here, I'll put the link in the Mumble server. Um,
but it
if
fits a
the
full.
only thing that's missing is a little handle. So I would totally bring this to the QuakeCon since I'm going there this year. It just I'd have to hold it like under my arm kind of thing versus if it had this neat little, maybe I could design or build in my own little handle onto it. But I don't know how strong that sheet metal is on the top. That might rip that right out or whatever.
You actually linked me a completely different case.
What? This
Yeah,
is this is from the original link, dude. So I don't know.
the
Oh,
no,
I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize. Yes. I'm looking at the N case M1, which is something that Atomic or Cyrus had linked in the
yes,
same Cougar article. Sorry. Okay.
and I think that this case might actually be a little bit smaller. I haven't done my metric to
It
English
is smaller.
conversions.
It is
Yeah,
smaller.
Which one? The M1?
yes,
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's even smaller. Holy cow. Oh, but it's $185
but it's all aluminum.
versus 60.
Aluminum's better than steel.
Well, I don't know. That's opinion.
That's
No.
It's
true.
not. It's
That's
only if
objective
you're
fact.
out in the rain.
Aluminum is better than steel when you're talking about cases.
Yes.
Why? Tell me the scientific reasoning.
Because
Stiffer
You
and
don't
lighter.
have any.
sturdier, lighter, and steel will also retain more
Well,
heat.
I'm sorry, aluminum is not sturdier than steel. I work with steel and aluminum, like in
We're
my
not
job.
talking about buildings and manufactured commercial equipment. We're talking about PC cases.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's why it costs more. Go look at any case on Newegg, look at the aluminum ones, then look at the steel ones, and then you'll see.
but I'm just saying, metal properties are metal properties. It doesn't matter if you're building a building or a PC case. Aluminum is not sturdier than steel. So, anyway, aluminum is prettier. You're right, and it's lighter. All right. Well, this little $60 case is like I said, so it just doesn't have a little handle on the top, unfortunately.
Yeah, neither one of these
Yeah.
cases that we're talking about do.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have a little tab open somewhere in some browser because I have all the tabs.
150 tabs open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Tab
You know,
Man.
it's somewhere. I'll have to go looking for it, but it's got leather handles with the little D rings in them that you can just mount to anything.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to get one or the other of these cases and build a little LAN rig in it. And I'm going to put some
Yeah.
leather handles on it.
I think that's a great idea. I'm probably going to follow suit on that. Cougar at only $60. I might just be getting the Cougar QBX with an MSRP of $60. Hell, you know. And then yeah, I guess PCPer did a review to see how it stacked up against the N case M1 and the Leon Li PC-Q33. Well, oh no, I see a main problem with this is I don't have the hardware to go into it. I don't have a mini ITX board, so never mind. I need to find some LAN case for my current components, not a new build. So the Titan X, the reviews are starting to roll in. Osiris, is this you?
Sure. Yeah, so we talked about the Titan X release last week. Titan X reviews are now in, and as expected, Titan X stomps all over every single GPU solution out there without mercy, and nobody's spared. It's pretty sad. Of course, these are going to be Windows benchmarks that are Tom's Hardware's benchmarks, but you can pretty much translate that to Linux, and if you throw AMD in an equation, you can translate that to Linux, then add even more on top of AMD for gaming at least. And the only thing that even comes close to it, I mean, the only thing that beats it is a 295X2. Now, according to Systrom, one of the community members, he says that the 1090, his 7990 actually runs in single, it's seen as a single GPU by the operating system. And if that is true, that would mean you would get the similar performance as a 295X2 if both cores were working in unison. But I don't know that that the new 295X2 actually does that. So buyer beware. And when you if that's something that you're looking at, if you're looking at the absolutely fastest single PCB solution there is, you got a choice between the Titan X and the 295X2. With the 295X2, you're kind of gambling whether it's seen as Crossfire or not. So go waste your money. Go buy a Titan X.
I
If you
definitely
need
will
all
be.
if you need all the power, oh my gosh. I did watch,
By the
you
way,
know,
it's 50% more than any other GPU out there, I believe. The 295X2 is almost down to $500. So,
ugh. Yeah, that's tough. What do you do when you get $1,000, GPU from NVIDIA that we know works in Linux, or you gamble with a 295X2 for half the price that we know doesn't work so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a tough call.
Well, there's no 980. Well, how much is that? 550.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
sure on
550. It's
prices.
about
They
550.
they're
Okay.
running about that price, yeah.
So that depends. That also depends. I mean, if you don't have 4K, like you shouldn't even be thinking about Titan X's anyways. You should
Uh,
move along.
if you got a 2560 by 1440 144 hertz monitor, then I
Oh
would
yeah,
say
that's
yeah.
true. Depends on the game you play. Like if you're playing, well, what game would you be playing? That's a on Linux that you needed to keep it at because I can hold 144 on BioShock Infinite.
With your
No,
780, you have a 780 or 780
almost hold
Ti?
it.
I forget.
No, I have a 780.
780. Okay.
I can hold it close to it, so I would say that a 980 should be able to hold that on that game. Pretty good if the game doesn't crash on you.
Yeah, I thought Atomic got a 980 and he was unimpressed with it,
Yeah,
and the issues with the VRAM, right?
yeah, there was the issue with the VRAM with that specific card, but the card also has low memory bandwidth, so it's kind of not so good if you're streaming.
Okay.
Like it's bad enough
Yeah.
at
I,
4K just trying to game like that because
yeah. And then you
you
add on encoding and streaming, right?
yeah you'll actually see your frame rate start to dip at certain points when the GPU's not even at 100% and the
Huh.
CPU's not at 100%, so you're not maxing anything out except probably that VRAM bus. And I don't have that same problem with the 780. So
Huh. I wonder what Nvidia did there. Yeah.
they
I know
thought
I
they could
watched a.
they thought they could do this, this memory compression gobbledygook, and they thought it would let them use a narrower memory bus. Didn't work.
That's disappointing to hear. I know I
Yeah.
watched a YouTuber review his Titan X, and he was getting like, well, first of all, he overclocked the crap out of it, and then he was getting like over 100 FPS in Battlefield 4. He was really impressed with the performance of it. But
Yeah.
But if I was
so
playing on, but that was on Windows. So if I was playing
right.
on Windows, I'd still get a 295X2 over that because it still beats
Oh, for
it.
sure. Right. Yep. Yeah. If you're talking Windows gaming,
And
yep.
then think about the
I'll have to.
rendering you can do with a 295X2 if you're doing content creation. It's going to be monstrous over top of the 980.
Yeah.
It destroys it.
Yeah.
But
All right. Well, segueing right off the Titan X, NVIDIA releases a brand new driver, a beta driver, 349.12. And they now are officially supporting or enabled G-Sync support. They previously had released unofficial support for it back in 340.17, but now with 349.12, they officially support G-Sync monitors, and you can now run a G-Sync monitor and a non-G-Sync monitor off the same card. And just the non G-Sync monitor will potentially still have screen tearing problems because there's obviously not the G-Sync module in it.
Yeah.
There's other massive improvements in the driver notes, the update notes that are on the Developer Zone NVIDIA Dev Talk forums. Some of the notable things are they added support for lossless H.264 and AVC video streams to VDPAU. They've also added support for hardware accelerated decoding of H.265 and HEVC video streams. So that's big news, I think, because now your CPU won't have to chug to play back the H.265 streams if you're messing around with any of that. A lot of little improvements, like you can now apparently get your GPU speed. I'm sorry, your fan. You can now get your fan speed from the command line, whereas before you couldn't. They added support for YUV 4:2:0 compression to enable HDMI 2 4K at 60 hertz modes. There's just been a lot of little improvements with this new driver. So I'm gonna be probably trying this out just because of there's been a lot of improvements.
Well, because I'm so bleeding edge that I make knives cry, I already have this driver installed.
Did he really?
Yes.
From the Arch, was it in the AUR?
I don't know. I never install NVIDIA drivers from the AUR, but I just go and get it from the website.
Okay. Well, cool.
Yep.
Awesome, you bleeding edge arch using full.
All right. Well, that's that. Then this last little note we have here. If you don't have USB 3.1 on your motherboard, ASUS is offering a PCI card for $39. We talked about Osiris had covered USB 3.1 a couple of weeks ago during the show. And it's, theoretically you can now get 10 gigabits a second for transfer speeds. That's 1,250 megabytes a second. That's huge improvement over USB. Over USB 2 or over USB 3? Because I guess USB 3.1, it doubles the transfer rate of USB 3. And then the other noticeable thing is you now have this new Type-C connector for USB 3.1. And I actually had seen a few tweets that said Apple were the main developers of this new connection type. I don't know if that's true or rumor, so that could just be speculation. I don't think they've come out and said that they, just helped design it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't know. Apple's done a lot of things. They had come up with I believe it was them that came up with the lightning cable, lightning, port, whatever. So,
just
USB 3.1.
To clarify, though, that this only works with ASUS motherboards, and some motherboards will actually need a BIOS update to use this card.
That is a true statement.
Okay. And it says down here, mobile devices like the new Apple MacBook and Google's Chromebook Pixel were among the first devices to support USB 3.1. But motherboard makers like ASUS, MSI, and ASRock have been quick to support the new standard. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Well,
Right,
that's
that's
impressive. That speed is ridiculously fast. All right. So we have our main topics of the show.
And the first one is
Yeah, go ahead.
Payday 2.
Payday 2, who I didn't even know that they had Linux support.
They were in that list of games that were coming out for Linux. That Steam had last week or the week before. And
Yeah, they had a free weekend, I remember.
yeah, I don't know if they've actually dropped a Linux binary because I don't own Payday 2 myself. But they're announcing 2 years of extra support for the game.
Oh, that's cool. Have you guys even played it yet? I've never played it.
I haven't because I don't own it.
I haven't because it's not on Linux.
Okay. Yeah, I have not played it either. I mean, it looks kind of up my alley. I guess you're just a band of robbers or whatever.
Yeah, it's a co-op
And
game. You have to rob stuff and do strategy type stuff to rob banks, stuff like that.
okay.
And that mask is just beautiful.
Right?
That mask makes it game of the year.
Well, they all have some pretty nifty masks on. It says it's an action-packed four-player co-op shooter that once again lets gamers don the masks of the original Payday crew, Dallas, Hoxton, Wolf, and Chains, as they descend on Washington, D.C. for an epic crime spree. So, Payday 2. There we go. That would be awesome if they ended up, uh, releasing a Linux port.
All right. So moving on to Twitch gets compromised with their awesomeness. They got compromised. Change your passwords, change your stream keys, change your draws because they just shitted on you. Somehow they got their passwords compromised. Who knows how? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Because it is already so. So if you guys, even if you're not a streamer, go and change your passwords because there's good reason to do it anyways.
Yes,
Even if you have an account that hasn't been touched in 2 years, go change your password and delete your account too. Do all that.
He said delete your account. Yeah, because Twitch sucks. Go to
So,
Hitbox or Beam.pro.
If you're the kind of person who uses Bud Light 1 as your password, and I know this from personal experience as somebody actually does use that as their password.
Oh, boy.
I got a website for you to go to. It's called strongpasswordgenerator.com. You click on generate a password. It generates a nice little random password for you.
better yet, use a password manager, which usually has one of those built there.
Yes. I personally use KeePass X on Linux, and that works well. I'm sure there's
I use LastPass as well. Yep. LastPass is nice. Just it has a mobile version, as well as desktop version and browser, built into the browser and everything. And it, yeah, it's pretty good.
at the very least, you may have noticed some of these websites. I am drawing a blank here, but I know Jitsi does this. If you go into a Jitsi chat, the little URL that defines which chat you're in isn't a random collection of names and numbers. It's actually a phrase, and it'll be like 3 words that make up a phrase.
It's they're funny ass phrases. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the demo for Jitsi Video Bridge. It'll create this weird,
Personally, on my desktop, I use a phrase. I use proper capitalization, punctuation, and spaces, and it's an actual pass phrase, not just a password. If you have to use something that you are going to remember, do something like that. A pass phrase. Make it a sentence. Might take a little bit longer to type, but it's less likely to get, hacked.
Brute forced. Yep.
Yeah.
Words are definitely way easier to brute force than, entire phrases, like Atomic is emphasizing phrase.
Yes.
So, yeah. The only thing I will say about that is some places or sites or whatever programs don't like spaces or some even don't like punctuation. Some require punctuation, require a special character. So obviously it's going to depend on what, piece of software or website or whatever you're creating a password for. I know at my job, it's crazy the password requirements to get your password in. It's got to have this, got to have that, it's got to have this. It's getting ridiculous. You sit there for 10 minutes trying to come up with your new password. So anyway, moving on. Twitch got compromised. Boo-hoo. Go change your passwords. Cities Skylines. It gets patched. Linux users are reporting much better performance. So
perfect,
that's a good
better.
thing.
A lot of people are saying they're getting finally some 60 frames per second action. Some people are not, but most people are. So at least they're supporting it. That's what really matters here. They're not,
Right.
Yes.
They didn't throw out the port on Linux and they say, "Y'all have fun. Bye."
Yep. They fixed some cases where the first time launch would show the game halfway out of the screen on dual monitors. I've seen that on
Yes.
other games. Yep, I've seen that problem on other games. That's awesome. They fixed it. In Linux, they did various runtime optimizations. They this is funny. Hopefully fixed the performance problems and the log spam, but they were unable to reproduce that issue. So this is a bit of a blindfolded fix.
Yes.
They added support for XDG data home. If you are using a custom path for XDG and already played the game on that machine, you will need to manually move the user files from the default folder, which is blah, blah, blah. The show notes are all on their website, on Skyline City website, under the patch 106B, patch notes, basically. So, yeah, I have not tried this game out yet. I'm not much of a sim type gamer, so I don't know if I will ever try this out, but any Linux game that's, out and like Cyrus pointed out is receiving updates, and improvements after the game gets released, that's a plus for me.
All right, that sounds good. So we just talked about Twitch. Hitbox was mentioned. Beam.pro, whether you guys know about that streaming service or not, was mentioned. But we also forgot about YouTube.
Oh, shit. Yep.
YouTube historically has sucked. And that's
For live streaming.
Well, they suck for everything, but yes, specifically live streaming, they suck even more. So, not to be left out of the party, because Google doesn't want to be left out of any parties, especially with parties where money is involved. They want to be in the streaming party, so they have reportedly, according to Daily Dot, hired 50 engineers to revamp their streaming service and to cater to gamers.
That's pretty big news.
50 engineers is a lot of people for even a company of that size to hire for a specific project. And if Atomic will bring up the 4.2 GIF, was YouTube's response when they were confronted about this news. This is what they actually responded with. Huh? That's what they responded with when Daily Dot asked them what happened.
Oh, wow, that's funny.
That's perfect.
They don't know.
Can you even play the GIF? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, there's the GIF. That's funny as hell.
So, extra brownie points to Google for being funny as hell and cool at the same time. But hopefully this doesn't stay in beta like their other stuff does for 3 years.
Yeah, right. We'll have to see. I'm really intrigued to see what these quote unquote improvements are,
it's gonna be
and
a
to cater
revamp
towards
according to them.
gamers. Right. Yeah, I understand. We'll have to see what they consider, because they always think they know what's best for everybody. Like when they integrated the damn comments from Google Plus, and when they changed the damn stream, the layout of their website a million fucking times. But anyway, so we'll have to see.
Yep. So that's that.
Half-Life 3
excuse me.
confirmed?
This announcement for the YouTube thing will be at E3, possibly June 16th through June 18th. So be looking for it there for the official announcement.
All right. Half-Life 3 confirmed? No. Half-Life 2 updated.
Again? They like
So
doing
apparently,
this all the time.
yeah, apparently it requires that you own the original Half-Life 2. The release date is actually 2 days away. It's March 27th. It's developed by Philip Victor. I guess it's a community type mod. Valve did support it through development, but they did not have any hands on the project. It's there's actually no official announcement for Linux, but in all honesty, I'd be shocked if it wasn't available for Linux. I would think it would be.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty
Since
sure it will be. Though
Wow, look at the
co-
improvements. Yeah.
community mods don't always have Linux or even Mac OS support. I have found a few Half-Life 2 mods that are Windows only. That could
Yeah.
be because they're just so old
But
that they're released before Mac support for Steam.
keep in mind though that this is a standalone. This is not a mod. Well, it is a mod,
standalone.
but
No, it requires Half-Life 2
no,
in
no,
order to
no.
work.
Requires Half-Life 2 doesn't mean mod because it's still a standalone. It has its own launcher, it's its own game, it does its own thing. It just uses the assets from Half-Life 2. That's why it requires Half-Life 2. Much like Gary's mod requires Valve games to play.
Yeah, there was that game that I had played that was really short. I was live streaming it.
I
Let me
know the
look
one
at
you're
my
talking about.
yeah,
But the good thing is that
like you were on
if
an
you
island.
really want this game and it doesn't get released for Steam OS, which I'm kind of thinking is not, because this is only one developer developing this game, and it took them 3 years just to get this far. So I'm doubting there's going to be official Linux support. Now there might be somebody who ports it, maybe in the community, but if there's not, almost every Valve source game works in Wine 100% fine for the most part, from what I've seen.
Okay, that's good news.
That's awesome. This is probably one of the best Half-Life 2 reworks. I would call this a rework more than a mod that I've seen. So he basically brought it more up to date. So if you feel like playing if you're one of the few people on the planet who says they're a PC gamer and you haven't played Half-Life 2 yet, now you have a good reason to play it now. No excuses. Go play this
Yeah,
game.
that would be me. I
This-
still have not played Half-Life 2 or Half-Life.
This
I need
is
to.
actually coming out on March 27th. Just so
Yep,
everybody's
2 days
aware.
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said that.
And
But
it
it's good
holds
to
true
reiterate
to the
it.
original
Yeah.
artwork and story, so it doesn't change anything about the original game. So you're still getting the original experience. So I highly recommend this, probably over Half-Life 2, the original, because some of them might add extra areas and try to give you a different experience and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that.
All right. What do we got? Some time left to talk about this last one.
Yeah, we're still good.
All right. Who is this? You?
There's a chronological RPG called Evil Land. I found this actually just today, and it's an awesome idea for a game. I've never even seen this before. I've never even thought of this before. Who could have thought of this? So you start the game as I guess 8-bit, maybe further back than 8-bit. I'm thinking like Atari era type of a game, and the game progresses in timeline as you progress in the game. So the graphics get better: 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit, 128, and so on and so on. And the gameplay mechanics, I think, change. I'm not sure because I haven't played the game. So as you see, you start off with the old school like graphics, and then as you progress through the game, it gets better and better. And it's out on Linux now. And according to their website, it's only $9.99. I don't know if I'd buy for $9.99. But it's an interesting idea. It's something I've never seen before, and it was worth a look. If somebody might want to experiment with this, it's a Final Fantasy / Zelda type of game.
I think I'd be interested in this game.
It looks awesome, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
the graphics change. That's what really gets me, is that the graphics actually change as you progress. That was the key selling point to me.
Yeah.
Man, and who doesn't remember Zelda as a youngin? Probably
Me.
our younger crowd, but you what?
I've never played any Zelda game ever.
Oh God, I
neither.
feel like you
Because
were.
I was an
Wait,
anti-Super
what?
Nintendo fan.
Oh my God, I feel like you
Sega
guys
all
have both
day.
been
You know,
deprived as children.
I was
Wow.
deprived
But
of
you
pretty
haven't
much
played
everything.
Half-Life 2.
Right. So right, I
Yeah.
guess.
Gostin
That
says
is a
he hasn't
really
played Zelda
interesting.
either.
Who?
Gostin says he hasn't
Who's
played
that
Zelda.
person? Doesn't matter. He doesn't matter. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you haven't played. This looks really cool. So this has got a Linux port,
Yep.
or
It's officially on Steam. Go to the Steam Worlds and check it out.
Yep.
awesome. I'm gonna go buy it right now. Actually, store EvoLand. EvoLand 249. So it's 75% off. So
Bam, there
really,
you
really,
go.
people, you don't have an excuse of not buying it. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna buy it right now as a gift for someone. Whoever's watching this stream will use YouTube, Twitch, and Hitbox. No, tell you what. I'd like everybody watching right now, doesn't matter what platform you're on, go to linuxtechandgaming.com/live. I want to see you over there in the chat on the website. So it's right below the player window. Sign into chat. So that would mean that you need to have a Hitbox account. And I want to see you in the chat over there. And that way we're going to pick someone to receive EvoLand. So we're going to continue on with the show, but I want everybody to go to linuxtechandgaming.com/live right now. And like I said, you have to sign in to chat, and the chat that's embedded there is Hitbox chat. So you need to have a Hitbox account. Sign in there, and we will pick a winner to receive EvoLand. But so for now, we'll continue on with the show. So go ahead, keep going, guys.
All right, that brings us to our rapid fire topics. These are topics that are Linux. They might be gaming, or they might be related to the two, but not exactly. Who knows? This is information you should listen to. So here we go. I'm gonna start. Google Docs. No, Atomic, you start. This is your thing.
Yes. Google Docs now has a ton more fonts. Like, it just keeps going and going and going and going. Like,
Did you
the
say
Energizer
fonts?
Bunny. Fonts.
Yes, he did say fonts with that French accent.
I thought so. I was just double checking. That's
I'm going
quite
to
all
start
right.
calling them funts.
Fonts.
Just because.
All right.
But yes, whatever you want. If you want Frederica the Great, you have it now. There you go. Make your docs pretty.
Righteous.
All right. Sweet.
Razer is looking for Linux kernel engineers. Who the hell cares about Razer?
Oh shit.
But maybe it's a sign for hardware support.
Yep.
Their focus is being largely on laptops, peripherals. We can speculate that they're either looking to support Linux for their peripherals, or they want to offer Linux on their gaming laptops with a big emphasis, capitalized asterisks, and all kinds of pound symbols. Maybe.
Yes, maybe. Or maybe they just want to make it so that their peripherals absolutely, positively do not work in Linux. That could be a thing.
You know, this has got to be solely because I tweet them all the time that they that I want to be able to manipulate their hardware in Linux. You know,
Yes.
It's got to be because of me. Yeah.
Got to be because of you.
Yep.
There's no other way.
Pretty much. Right. No other reason. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Many Linux books for the beginner to the advanced, and for the big price of free.
Hey.
So
I like that
you can
price.
go to noobslab.com/2013/11
Oh yeah, that's too
slash
long. Just look at
download -linux command -cheat and dash sheet, and you can get a free Linux ebook and other useful IT ebooks for free. So very cool, in my opinion. Getting started with Ubuntu 14.04. You know, you can download the ebook right now. So that is really neat.
Yep, quite a bit of stuff there. Okay, once
Boat.
pirated, always pirated. Oh. Oh,
Oh, is this the Windows
yeah.
made the announcement that they were going to give even pirates Windows 10?
Yeah. And then they're like, no.
What, they reneged on that, or what? What?
You may be a
What do you-
victim of software counterfeiting. Yep. They revoked or reneged.
Basically, long story short, if
Really?
you have a non-genuine copy of 7 or 8 and you go to a copy of 10, you'll still have a non-genuine copy. Point being is, though, real pirates don't care about genuine copies anyways. So who cares if Microsoft supported it or not? They were still going to pirate it. It's not. Windows has been pirated since pirating has been pirating. Let's just be for real.
Damn it. Where's
Yeah.
my pirate hat here?
Yes, you need a pirate hat. So
Where's
who
my
cares what
tricorn?
Microsoft thinks anyways? Microsoft,
Right.
Windows take their OS and their Windows and shove it up their butt, because I guess what? I'll have Windows 10. I ain't paying for it.
Yeah, I think I kind of made this comment when I first saw them post this, was just like, I think it's just like them just like grasping at straws to remain relevant as a desktop operating system.
Pretty much.
Maybe that's true, maybe it's not true. That's just my opinion. We did talk about this. I thought we talked about this last week already, but
Yeah, but the only thing that changed is that Microsoft says that you would be able to get 10, but it will be non-genuine still, which means
okay.
that your updates may or may not work.
Okay, sure. All right. The Acer XG 270HU FreeSync monitor is only $499. Or you can get the same GSync version for $799. What in the F is that? What the f?
You got to pay that NVIDIA tax.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Why? Oh my God. I hope NVIDIA gets their head out of their asses. Oh, that's just disturbing that it's more or less the same adaptive sync module, hardware module in, both devices, and one's $800 and the other is $500. What the hell, NVIDIA? Come on.
I thought the tax
Yeah.
was $200, not $300.
The NVIDIA tax?
Yeah.
Now it's apparently, according to this, it's 300. They feel like they need to tax you some more. That tax is real. They're gonna tax that ass. It's gonna be $300. They said, because of reasons.
I do see something
Yeah.
here I don't like though on this monitor, and that's the ports come straight out the back. I can't stand that. I want the ports
Oh,
to
you
go,
like them vertical or up and down,
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah, because I want to put these things on.
The wall or something.
Yeah. A little wall mount, and when I want to get out of my way, I push it back up against the wall,
I
and it
agree
doesn't
with
break the
Tommy.
cables off.
For $500, you would have thought there's very smart engineers would have thought of that, but whatever.
No. I mean, they did on the B326HK, which I got sitting in front of me.
And that's a BenQ, right?
No,
Oh,
it's
what
an
is that?
Acer.
That's an Acer. Oh.
Yeah. So same company, different shit.
All right. So, yeah, AMD. Linux loves you. AMD, or if you're Linux, AMD loves you. Bring on the support. FreeSync, baby. FreeSync all the way.
Yes.
And there are apparently Linux users in the Linux gaming subreddit that are confirming that G-Sync works, in Linux.
Hooray.
Yay.
That's
So,
nice,
there is a subreddit, and there's very recent posts and people, saying that G-Sync is, is good.
As much as I hate to pay the
But
NVIDIA
it does-
tax, I
it
will
does
probably be getting a PG27AQ to add to my stable of monitors at some point.
Stable of monitors.
Yes. I've got 3 already. So
Like
you
a
know,
stable of hose, but it's just monitors. He's got monitors everywhere. He's a monitor pimp.
I'm running an 11-year-old monitor over here.
Yeah, but you also have a 4K
I still have,
monitor.
an old CRT monitor that I'm yet to give away or get rid of, just because
Fuck CRT monitors.
yeah, well, they're for my computers that I work on for clients. I don't want to have to disconnect cords from my flat panels, so I just hook it up to the CRT,
I'm
that glorious 1280 by 1024 res or 1024 by 768 res. You know.
I'm talking about an 11-year-old flat panel monitor because I was rocking flat panels more than a decade ago.
All
Oh,
right.
jeez.
Just a reminder, I'm going to be giving away copies of Evo Land. Share out the stream with your friends, your other fellow tweeters or Google Plusers or Facebookers. I just tweeted it myself. You can retweet it if you'd like, but we were trying to get people to come to linuxtechandgaming.com/live. So get in here, get in this chat box, and you'll be able to win Evo Land possibly. So we got two more things. KDE Plasma 5.2.2 released with over 150 improvements, and it prepares for Linux kernel 4.0. I run KDE in my Arch install, so I am tempted to actually give Plasma 5.2.2 a run. I don't know. What do you think, you guys?
I don't think I even have it installed yet. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't because I think Plasma 5 is an actual separate package from KDE 4.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty
So-
sure.
And I haven't installed it just so I don't break shit yet.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm trying, I have Arch as a totally different install so that I can break shit and it's okay, it doesn't affect my production environment, whatever. So anyway, there you go. That's awesome with all those improvements and stuff. Rust experiments with assigning players' skin tones. Oh boy. So wait, so now you're telling me I can be just like Osiris and be black in the game?
The reason I added this was not because I thought this was groundbreaking, because I don't really, it's really stupid. And for those who don't know, Rust is a open world sandbox type game. You run around, you do dumb stuff, you try to stay alive. It's a survival game. Much like somebody help me out here. What's that game?
Daisy.
There you
Daisy H1. Wait, is H1Z1 the same or no?
I think so, but similar, something like that. So
Okay.
this game, you only can be one color, and the developer did that on purpose, or whatever his reasons were. But the reason I added this article because of this quote: "People have a strange need to play someone similar to themselves in games," said Newman. Newman is Gary Newman, the developer of this game and Gary's Mod. And then he goes on to say, "That's not something I understand, but maybe the curse of being a white 32-year-old male is not seeing these problems." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Well, fuck it," and put it in there. We gotta have this because his
Interesting.
his
Yeah.
quote was very I don't know. I don't even know how to describe his quote. It's retarded, but I understand.
Okay, so that's not something I understand, but maybe the curse of being a white 32-year-old male is not seeing these problems. Huh. Anyway. All right, so that's pretty much it for the show, guys. Thank you for coming and supporting us. We have been seeing steady growth. This is episode 30, so we've been doing this for 30 weeks. We are constantly trying to improve the show. We're trying to get it down to under 60 minutes. We're trying our best to listen to you guys, listen to any suggestions that you guys have. With the layout and with topics, and I kind of would like to see a section of the show where we actually answer viewers' questions. Now, that could make the show go well over 60 minutes, since we're already right now. I think we still have a little bit of time because we didn't start until about 7:10 anyway. So we're about like 57 minutes right now. But like I said, the show is ever evolving. It's ever changing. We're trying to make it better, with little ideas here and there. We have some Patreon supporters. Thank you very much to those of you that donate monthly. That means a lot to us. That money gets directly, split up 3 ways evenly between us 3. Osiris has been doing a lot of great work on the website. Atomics runs the hub. He's the hub of the show, and Each of us have our own little roles on the podcast, and we're doing the best we can, and we're hoping that we're educating you guys, we're informing you guys of the latest Linux gaming information, with a little bit of tech thrown in there, Linux related. So right now, I would like to give away copies of the game Evo Land. If you could bring that up, Atomic, on the screen, the game Evo Land, maybe. So if you just got here and if you're watching the show, Evo Land is a game that's kind of similar to Zelda, and the graphics of the game actually evolve and change as you progress further into the game. I don't know if the stream just isn't updating or what for me. Do you have it on the screen, Atomic?
I'm looking for it. Where did it go? Where did it go?
Oh, I have a damn ad. Damn you, Hitbox, and your ads. Those of you that are curious, the ads on the show do not directly support us because we are not a partnered live stream channel. So, if you have ad block, whatever, that doesn't affect us because we don't get any ad revenue. But, okay, Evo Land. So I'm going to actually give away 3 copies of Evo Land. So make sure that you go tell your friends to get in here real quick. Hop into this linuxtechandgaming.com/live and sign into the chat. So, sadly, you will have to have a Hitbox account. I apologize. It's just the way it is for this week's giveaway. We usually don't do giveaways. I don't necessarily believe in giveaways because usually you get a viewer in here that's like, oh, free shit, gimme, 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 and then they don't win, and then they unsubscribe and never come back. So, we're not interested in those kind of viewers. But I want to show my appreciation to those of you that are here week in and week out. We appreciate it a lot. So I thought, what the heck, I'll give away a copy of Evo Land. So what I will do is I'm holding up a number behind my back right now, and people can what?
So
So funny.
scientific.
Yes, so scientific. That is a number it's from 0 to 10. So it can include 0 and it can include 10. I'm holding the number right now behind my back. Go ahead and start putting the number in the chat. And the first person that gets it gets the first copy of Evo Land.
We almost
Just
had
keep,
666 in the chat there.
Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of scary. All right, nobody's gotten it yet.
Combo breaker.
There's only, 5 people in here?
No, there's...
Oh, there it is. System got it. 8. System won. Congratulations, System. You are the winner of the first copy of Evo Land. All right, I'm going to do it again. So I'm holding a number again behind my back. Don't worry, 2 Coop, or you can win. So now guess your number again. This is for the second copy of Evo Land. So go ahead and start typing in the chat again the number that you think it is. It's from 0 to 10. You just keep guessing numbers until you guys win. Oh, we have serious. We have a Hitbox employee, I believe, in here, or not employee, but a Hitbox representative. Serious Sam something or other. His
Serious
name popped up
owns,
in.
yeah.
Okay, I couldn't quite see it because it went off the screen quickly. So we still don't have a winner. Who is going to be the winner of the second copy of Evo Land? I'm holding the number up in behind my back.
Well, it can't be me because I already bought this game over a year
Serious
ago.
owns you. Actually, an
What the
employee.
hell,
Yeah.
Atomic?
Okay, you're an actual employee. Well, thank you for coming to the stream tonight.
I don't
We
even
appreciate
remember
it.
buying it.
Atomic is actually
We're
a
gonna get your
partner.
help,
Huh?
Yeah,
Calvin. We're
Atomic's
gonna
got
get your
what,
help for all the good
300
games.
plus,
You
right?
got
He's
so
got
many
300
games, you don't
plus
even know what you
games.
have anymore.
Right.
We're gonna have to have an
500.
intervention.
You have 500 games? Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have an intervention. That's
Still
it.
nobody has. Oh, there it is. Two Coop got it. The Two Coop wins the second copy of Evo Land. Congratulations. Everybody give Two Coop a pat on the back.
I unlocked the
I got to get a
director.
pen real quick.
I unlocked the director of acquisitions achievement on my Steam profile.
All right, System 1, Two Coop 1. All right, one more copy. We're going to give away one more copy. So the third and final copy. Now I have the number. I'm holding it up behind my back. What is your guess, people? What is your guess? What are you going to guess? How bad do you want Evo Land? Ding, 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 ding. Ding,
No,
ding,
no, I
ding,
actually
ding,
have.
ding, 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 ding. We need like that, that game show music, the timer, like waiting or
Yeah.
whatever.
Emboed. Actually, I might have funded a
Yeah,
payment
you
on Lord
funded.
Gibbon's car,
I wouldn't doubt it. Yes, you probably
unless
have.
he,
Wait,
unless he
didn't you have a
bought.
spreadsheet of all of the costs of all the
I,
games that you ever bought?
I do.
You
I do.
do. Oh my God. Like, I don't know anybody else that's that anal about the games they buy and actually recording and having the like how much each game costs. Somebody linked the Price is Right video in our chat. That's funny. All right, I'm still waiting to give away the third copy. Come on, people. I know Osiris wants to get out of here. We all got other stuff to do. We got life, life still has to go on.
Yeah, there you go. You get to see it. Almost
What?
$1,600.
$1,600. Wow.
But I do have 549 games. So, yeah.
Embed videos on Hitbox is awesome too, Coop. You're right. That is pretty cool. All right, someone still hasn't gotten it. There's been really darn close guesses, but come on, we need that winner so we can end the show tonight. So we can all go off and do our own things, which I myself might be playing some Don't Starve Together on my server, which is, if you're interested, Gaston said no one guessed it so that they keep us here. Touche, Gaston, touche.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Well, now you know that I have this hand in front of me. It's a number that's actually only 0 through 5, since this number is no longer behind my back.
How do you know you didn't grow another finger?
Yeah, here's a finger that I grew for you. Oh, there we go. Techie Rod. Techie Rod. There you go. Techie Rod got it. 2. Techie Rod is the winner. So he's another. Techie Rod has won, I don't know how many times on the show. He won Interstellar Marines. And actually, Systrom has won before as well. Systrom has won Interstellar Marines. You guys both got your copies of the games, right? I hope. That was a big giveaway. That was a more expensive game. This game's only $3. No big deal. So that's only $6 total. But anyway, so as long as each one of you are already my Steam friends or friends on Steam, I will be sending you the game right now as we speak. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Linux Tech and Gaming Podcast. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And, if you're interested in some after show gaming, I'll be playing Don't Starve Together or some other co-op game, personally. So if you want to game with me, stick around, in the Hitbox chat or in the IRC channel, whatever, and we'll connect or stay on the Mumble server or whatever, and we can do some gaming. So, yeah. Oh yeah, Anteki Rod won the USB stick as well. Jeez, which actually I still have to send him. I think I'm slacking. I'm slacking on that one. I
That
get
was
the game. I
last
get the
year,
games
wasn't it?
out right away. Yeah, I think it was. But the stuff that I have to physically ship takes a little longer.
Like months
Yeah,
and
well, a year.
months.
Yeah, I'll send it though. I do what I say I'm gonna do. All right. Anyway, that's it for this week. Take care, guys.
See y'all later.